سلام به همه ساب برای بچه کانال سانتی، خوش اومدید به یه ویدیوی دیگه از بازی هیتمن 3. میخوایم مرحله دومش امروز با هم دیگه بریم ببینیم قضیهش چیه. End of the line، آخر خط.
She came home.
اومد خونه.
Carlyle's lost an empire. Fall hard enough. You tend to be reminded of what truly matters.
امپایری حکومت رو عدست داد.
So, the end of the line.
آخر
You
خط.
ready for this?
آماده چی؟
Are you?
خودت هستی؟
Who will you be without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead.
Alexa Carlyle
According to the
مرده.
funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
شاکر. فقط good luck جنتلمنشو فهمد. آقا بریم بسم الله. مهم گیمپلی بازیه. یه سوال من دارم. الان مثلا من اینو بگیرم دستم، خب چه شکلی میتونم بذارم جیبم؟ با کلیک راست مثل اینکه میتونم بذارم جیبم. یه تک کلیک راست یا نه؟ با چی؟ اوه با اسکرول موس میتونم بذارم جیبم.
You can go right. This is a restricted area and I can't let you through. You gotta move on.
Okay.
You can go right.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
بله خیلی آروم و ایزی. بگیر اینو ببر این ور. دیگه متاسفانه اونو کورن، محدوده دیدشون نمیکشن. بیا تو شمشادا. بله تفنگ رو بردار. اینور تو هم بیا تو شمشادها. چه خبره؟
Mr. Whitmer, thank God you're here. Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
Yes,
بله
please.
بله.
If you'd follow me.
میگه دنبالم کنید لطفا.
I know I oughtn't say anything, but I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange.
میگه همه چی اینجا عجیب غریبه.
Funeral and then she turns up alive. But then the
میگه
awful
طرف
business
مرده
with
بود
her
بعد
brother
یهو زنده شد.
Zachary. And all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all. Well, this is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. Oh, I could just cry.
All right there.
خب
Sir, I will have to check you if you want to pass, okay?
کوچ. خب چکم کن دیگه.
Hi.
یه لحظه وایسا. چکمون نمیتونه بکنه چون ما فیکی. ما پنجره میریم همراه بود. دیگه به 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 به.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you
John.
for coming on such short notice.
جیگرتون.
A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my
خب مثل اینکه ما خودمون رو جای کارگاه چیز
a
زدیم.
thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible.
Okay.
Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments, or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you
میگه من
wish.
ترجیح
If
میدم
you'll follow
شروع
me,
کنم.
sir.
دنبالم کنید لطفا سر. آقا چشم دنبال. داری حرکت کنی؟ چیزی
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with me.
Looking good today,
They seem
sir.
affected by the
Shake it.
rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
میگه نباید بدی آخر کنم ولی اگه بقیه دنیا بفهمن ایشون زنده است
I will tell you this.
عواقب خوبی
The case
نخواهد داشت.
concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning.
میگه صبح
The door was locked from the inside and a suicide
رو
letter was
تخت
found.
بیدار شد. اینجا
However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so
Fine.
please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene.
چشم. چیه؟
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan Yates and Company.
جان
I've prepared some information for you,
این بره
so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the
این
crime
بر
scene.
بود. اوکی
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this.
خب
Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
آفرین. میگه چرا کامرات استفاده نمی‌کنیم بنده خدا رو اسکن کنیم. چشم.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison.
با زهر کشته شده.
Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
تو زهراتو میشناسی؟ 47. بله من میشناسمشون. اینو بده به من. این چی به چیه؟
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night.
از اینجا داشته خرید
Exactly what you would
کرده.
expect from someone suicidal.
نه دقیقا چیزی که انتظار میرفت از کسی که خودکشی کنه. بس یعنی خودکشی نکرد. بله.
Zachary's suicide note. Also,
چیز نامه خودکشیش چیز ننوشته.
a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
نوشت دست خط طرف. یه سرویس اتاق خوابش اندازه خونه ما. آها بله 2 تا سرنخ دیگه هست هنوز. بله در مخفی.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside.
این میتونه توضیح بده در چه شکلی از داخل قفل شده بوده. میاد بیرون اتاق. این چی؟ گفتم یه چیزی راجع به این آینه مشکوکه.
A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor.
نقشه فلور.
I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47.
چاکرین.
Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
میگه به طور دقیق اینجا رو گشتی دیگه شاید وقتشه که بری بیرون و آره دیگه. خب چه خبره؟ کجا هست این یارو؟ داشم الان باید چیکار کنیم؟ هر 6 تا سرنخشو داریم. اسک مستر فلان. آها این پایینه.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
میگه زمان مرگشو گرفتیم میگه 10 شب پیشه.
And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning.
میگه تا صبح نفهمیدم.
Adam's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track
الان
of your
بهتون میگم
findings.
یه لحظه وایسید.
Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So, how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
خب یه گفتش که من در زمان که کشته شدن طرف تو اتاقم تنها بودم، تو دفترم تنها بودم، اما یه لیست از افراد مشکوک بهت میدم که معلوم نیست کیا هستن افراد مشکوک.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
اوکی. خب یه مپی چیزی بهمون نمیدی؟ یکی همینجا سمت چپه. یه لحظه بایستید من یه دفعه دیگه ببینم. همین آره باید مستقیم بریم. ایره.
Patrick Carlyle.
پاتریک
Can you tell
کارلایل.
me where you were yesterday evening?
میدونی به میگه زمان
Shit,
مرد
it's
حالا
that
کجا
sneaky
بودی؟
butler, isn't it? He ratted me out.
اون رو انداختم
Elaine.
بیرون. من
Give us some privacy, would you?
میشه یه ذره به اون زمان چیز بدی؟
Don't
Well-
tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
با جز
Crude
زکری
as
چی
hell.
فکر کنی؟
No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum.
فکر کن داری خیلی
You know,
موزه
Father
زندگی
says
میکنی.
Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding.
خب این خیلی رو از ایشون
If
خوشش
that's all, I
نمیومده.
think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
Did you see anything suspicious
یه شب
last
چیز
night?
مشکوکی
No.
دیدی؟
I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
میگه شاید ایشون انجامش داده باشه. خب 3 تا بهمون چیز داد. میگه ممکنه این انجام داده باشه قتل و آره دیگه. نتی روم رفتیم اینجا مونده اما اند بقیه روم بقیه افراد و بله اینا مونده اینا 5 تا 6 تا 1 2 4 اینجا 6 تا بچه‌شن البته 6 تا مظلومن البته بچه‌ش کنه نمیدونم این فکر نکنم بچه‌ش باشه خب برو در مپ بعد اینو برو مستقیم بعد با بریم در سمت چپ
Did you find out that the
hi
vote
there.
was notarized?
چکر
But how the hell did that happen? No? Wheels? Find it. I gave it to him in person. He says he got it notarized the very same day. Right, listen. Go to their office and ask Cheryl. She's the best they've got. Tell her you wanted to see the record. Don't take no for an answer.
Scan
And call
point
me
idea.
as soon as you've got them.
نبود رو میزا
We'll get to the bottom of it.
خب شما بیا جواب پس بده یه
Rebecca Carlyle,
وایس
can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son,
Patrick,
disappeared straight after dinner.
پاتریکو یکی دیگه بعد از شام مستقیم ناپدید شد.
But Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about
اتاقم بودم داشتم با لپتاپم کار می‌کردم.
She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual.
میگه دیشب خیلی
wanted to know about my connections in the
دوست داشت حرف بزنه با همون.
Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book.
میگه مثل که رفیقش داشته کتاب می‌نویسه.
Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
نه.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon.
Oh.
And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and
میگه دیشب دیدم که از اتاقش خارج شد، همین که ما باش حرف زدیم لیست افراد مشکوکی بهمون داد.
Is there anything else you want to ask me?
نه من 2 نفر الان اشاره کردن که این طرفمون مشکوکه. بله.
Security detail at a staged funeral event.
حالا چطوره داداش؟
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Why the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing.
Hammer.
You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler. Get out my face, Sibby.
این مظنونه. تو مظنونی. تو لاشی مظنونی. حالت چطوره؟
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. How do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Yeah. Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. And again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
بله. خب بازم کلی اینجا اینفورمیشن داریم. دیگه کیا موندن؟ اسکن کن. خب وقتی که داشت مرده اومدی اینجا داری پیانو میزنی. بله میگه ناراحته همش.
She just discovered Zachary's dead body and was all shook up. I tried to tell Emma, and do you know what she said? She said...
چه فکر کنم مکانه نه جایی که
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick.
با پاتریک بودم.
We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games. Never any romance.
همش به فکر گیم زدنه. یه مرد واقعیه.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
بله. خب اینم از این.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But what is safe with Ethel? She never misses a step. Gossiping and word burl.
I can't deal with all this.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
این اتاق به این چی میگن درب دفتر مستر فرنبیه ولی قفله. یه جوری ما بریم این تو. یه در مخفی هم مثل این که داره.
You always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures.
Professor Edward Carlyle.
Can
you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
میتونی بگید دیشب چه غلطی کردی؟
Dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He would never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by mother's supposed death.
یه دیشب ناراحت بود ولی فکر نکنم جوری بوده باشه.
He seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? My mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
بله. پاتریک چیه؟ پاتریک یعنی الان مظنون گفتیم نیست. یعنی چی خب؟ این ضبط داره.
Like hugs, encouragement.
اینجا. اینجاییشه.
Gregory Carlyle.
چطوری؟
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
بگو دیشب کدوم گروه بودی؟
Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach.
Zach.
Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger ball. He's better off dead. Is that all?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Taking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. She's scared to own up to her own mistake.
بله. خب الان این سه تا مظلوم نیستن. با هم صحبت بکردیم. اینجا چی بود؟
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
آها این میره به اما و گرگوری روم. من میخوام برم این تو. رو اسکن کن. رد پا و کفش. بله.
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
کی برای گرین هاوس چرا اینجاست؟
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
بله. بچه‌ها دمتون گرم این ویدیو رو تا آخرش دیدین. حتما اگه خوشتون اومد سابسکرایب کنید که محض اینکه ویدیوی بعدی رو گذاشتم مطلع بشید و ببینید. من زمان دیگه ندارم متاسفانه برای ضبط کردن و مجبورم برم. خوشتون باشه تا یه ویدیو دیگه